What appears at first to be another entertaining day of Scottish Highland Games quickly takes an unexpected turn when longtime fan favorite Phaedra Parks opens the day with what Bravo is describing as a wild confession. For longtime viewers of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, that phrase alone is enough to raise eyebrows. Comic relief or becoming the center of explosive drama, Phaedra rarely enters a scene without leaving an impression. So when Bravo teases that she begins Highland Games Day with a confession serious enough to headline the preview, fans immediately begin asking the same question. What exactly did she reveal, and how will it affect the rest of the Scotland trip? Timing couldn't be more significant. Season 17 has already friendships, fractured alliances, and unresolved personal history. Now, as the cast continues its trip through Scotland, viewers are watching every conversation for clues about where these relationships may ultimately end up. First glance, the setting itself almost feels misleading. Scotland provides a breathtaking backdrop filled with castles, rolling green hills, centuries-old traditions, and the famous Highland Games. Rather than gathering around another dinner table destined to erupt into arguments, the women are welcomed by Scottish guides dressed in traditional kilts and introduced to classic Highland competitions, including Bravo viewers know something important. On the Real Housewives of Atlanta, vacations rarely stay peaceful for very long. History has taught fans that some of the franchise's biggest confrontations have happened far away from Atlanta. Once the women are removed from their everyday routines, emotions become harder to hide. Long-standing grievances resurface. Small misunderstandings become major arguments. Conversations that might have ended quickly back home suddenly stretch into emotional showdowns that reshape entire friendships. That's why this Scotland trip already feels different. Before audiences even see the full episode, Bravo has begun teasing moments. Satine, titled Highland Games and Explosive Claims, continues the Scotland vacation but also introduces emotional developments involving several cast members, including business concerns for Pinky Cole and escalating tensions surrounding Portia Williams and Shemaya Morton-Wangi. Against that backdrop comes editing strategy that has become one of the network's trademarks. Rather than revealing every detail, the sneak peek invites viewers into a moment filled with curiosity. The audience is left wondering whether Phaedra's revelation is deeply personal, unexpected, exactly what keeps Bravo audiences coming back week after week. For nearly 2 decades, the Real Housewives of Atlanta has mastered the art of balancing humor with emotional honesty. One scene may leave viewers laughing uncontrollably, while the next explores deeply personal family struggles, friendship betrayals, financial pressures, or relationship challenges. It's this unpredictable emotional rhythm that has helped keep the series relevant through changing casts and evolving storylines. Phaedra Parks understands that rhythm better than almost periods away from the series before eventually returning. Because of that history, every appearance carries additional weight. Fans don't simply watch Phaedra, they analyze every word, every facial expression, and every interaction for hints about what she's really thinking. That reputation makes even a seemingly casual confession feel significant. Meanwhile, the Scotland trip itself represents more than just another international vacation. Group trips on the opportunities for unresolved tensions to surface. Episode 14 appears poised to continue that tradition. Bravo's official synopsis indicates that while the Highland Games provide entertainment, the emotional atmosphere grows increasingly complicated. Pinky Cole reportedly receives troubling news from home concerning her business, leaving her visibly emotional. Elsewhere, unresolved family issues between Portia Williams and Shemaya Morton-Wangi appear to reach a breaking point, introducing another layer of conflict into an already emotionally charged vacation. That larger context matters because it reminds viewers that Phaedra's confession is not occurring in isolation. Instead, it becomes one moment within a broader narrative where multiple cast members are confronting personal challenges simultaneously. One of Bravo's greatest storytelling strengths has always been allowing different emotional storylines to intersect naturally. A funny confession in one moment can unexpectedly open the door to a serious conversation in the next. Playful competition can end with tears. A vacation meant to strengthen friendships can instead expose fractures that have existed for years. The Highland Games themselves symbolize competition, but the emotional competition unfolding beneath the surface may prove far more consequential. Who still trusts whom? Which friendships remain genuine? Which alliances exist only for convenience? And perhaps most importantly, who is willing to tell the truth when cameras are rolling? Those questions have defined much of Season 17. Returning cast members continue navigating old histories while newcomers seek their place within an already established social dynamic. Every conversation carries additional meaning because each woman arrives with her own perspective, loyalties, and emotional baggage. That's why even seemingly light-hearted moments deserve closer attention. Sometimes the most revealing conversations happen before the biggest arguments. Sometimes a joke hides genuine vulnerability. Sometimes a confession changes how viewers interpret everything that follows. Whether Phaedra's revelation ultimately proves humorous, deeply personal, or strategically timed, Bravo has clearly positioned it as the opening note of an episode expected to deliver far more than athletic competitions and Scottish scenery. As the Scotland trip continues, emotions are building, friendships are being tested, and the atmosphere is becoming increasingly unpredictable. Thus, the excitement of Highland Games Day begins. The mood among the women initially appears much lighter than viewers might expect. Scotland's sweeping countryside, centuries-old traditions, and picturesque castles provide a dramatic backdrop unlike anything seen earlier this season. The trip seems designed to give the cast a chance to reconnect away from the pressures of Atlanta. Yet longtime Real Housewives of Atlanta fans know that these group vacations rarely remain peaceful for long. Beneath every laugh and every playful challenge, there is often an emotional undercurrent waiting to surface. The Highland Games themselves are one of Scotland's oldest and most recognizable cultural traditions. Dating back hundreds of years, the Games celebrate strength, endurance, teamwork, and Scottish heritage through events such as the cobber toss, hammer throw, tug-of-war, and other athletic competitions. For Bravo, placing the cast in this environment creates an ideal television setting. Competitions naturally encourage friendly rivalry while also putting everyone together in close quarters for extended periods of time. On the surface, the women embrace the experience with enthusiasm. Traditional Scottish attire, spirited cheering, and playful banter create moments of humor that remind viewers why cast trips have become such an important part of the franchise. These lighter scenes offer a temporary break from the emotional confrontations that have defined much of Season 17. But anyone familiar with the Real Housewives of Atlanta understands that moments of laughter can quickly give way to uncomfortable conversations. Bravo's preview for episode 14 highlights that while the Highland Games provide entertainment, the emotional focus of the episode extends well beyond the competitions themselves. According to the network's official synopsis, the Scotland vacation becomes increasingly complicated as several cast members face personal challenges at the same time. One of the most significant developments involves entrepreneur Pinky Cole, who receives troubling news from home regarding her business while still overseas. The unexpected update reportedly leaves her emotional during what was supposed to be a celebratory group trip. Meanwhile, tensions involving Portia Williams and Shemaya Morton-Wangi continue to escalate as unresolved family issues come back into focus. These parallel storylines suggest that the vacation is becoming less about sightseeing and more about navigating relationships under pressure. Against this backdrop, Phaedra Parks' early confession takes on additional significance. Although Bravo's sneak peek promotes the confession as a headline moment, the preview intentionally withholds its full context. At the time of the preview's release, the network had not publicly revealed every detail of what Phaedra shares, a familiar promotional strategy that encourages viewers to tune in for the complete episode rather than relying on short promotional clips. Because of that, responsible reporting requires distinguishing between what has been officially previewed and what remains unknown until the episode airs. That distinction matters. Reality television often relies on selective editing in promotional materials. A brief clip can create suspense without revealing the complete conversation or its ultimate impact. As a result, viewers frequently discover that a scene carries more nuance, or an entirely different tone, than early previews might suggest. Rather than jumping to conclusions, many fans now wait to see how the full conversation unfolds within the larger context of the episode. Even so, the preview succeeds in accomplishing its primary goal. It sparks conversation. Within hours of the sneak peek's release, Bravo fans began debating what Phaedra's confession could involve. Some speculated that it might relate to her personal life. Others wondered whether it could concern one of the evolving friendships within the cast. Still others viewed it as classic Phaedra humor, unexpected, memorable, and delivered with impeccable timing. This stage, those interpretations remain speculation rather than confirmed fact. Part of what makes Phaedra such a compelling reality television personality is her ability to command attention without raising her voice. Unlike cast members who rely primarily on confrontation, Phaedra often shifts the emotional direction of a scene through carefully chosen words, subtle expressions, or a single unexpected remark. Her background as an attorney has long shaped how fans perceive her communication style. She often appears measured, observant, and deliberate, allowing others to react before revealing her own perspective. That approach has helped make her one of the franchise's most recognizable figures. Over the years, viewers have watched her navigate friendships, family life, professional success, public controversy, and personal reinvention. Whether audiences agree with her decisions or not, few would argue that Phaedra lacks the ability to create memorable television. Every return appearance invites renewed scrutiny because fans know her history within the franchise and understand that her presence can influence the dynamics of nearly every group interaction. The Scotland trip illustrates that reality particularly well. While the games themselves provide moments of comic relief, they also require teamwork. Tug-of-war, relay races, and other competitions naturally reveal which women work well together, and which lingering tensions may still be affecting group chemistry. Even seemingly minor exchanges during these activities can foreshadow deeper conversations later in the episode. This is one of the storytelling techniques that Bravo has refined over many years. A playful competition often serves as the calm before a more emotionally charged sequence. Viewers laugh during the games, only to find themselves drawn into serious conversations over dinner or back at the estate where the cast is staying. Contrast between celebration and conflict creates an emotional rhythm that has become a hallmark of the Real Housewives franchise. Episode 14 appears to follow that familiar pattern. As viewers enjoy the scenic beauty of Scotland and the spectacle of the Highland Games, emotional realities continue unfolding behind the scenes. Business concerns do not disappear simply because someone is on vacation. Long-standing friendship issues cannot always be resolved through shared activities. Family disagreements often become even more visible when multiple personalities are confined together during an international trip. That larger truth gives the episode added emotional weight. The women are not simply competing in athletic events, they are carrying personal responsibilities, unresolved conflicts, and individual pressures with them throughout the journey. For viewers, this combination of entertainment and emotional vulnerability has always been central to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. The series succeeds not because every episode contains explosive arguments, but because it balances moments of humor with authentic personal challenges. One scene may feature playful competition, while the next explores genuine disappointment, uncertainty, or reconciliation. As Highland Games Day unfolds, it becomes increasingly clear that Scotland is serving as more than just a beautiful filming location. It has become a setting where friendships are tested, emotions intensify, and conversations take on new meaning. With Phaedra's confession setting an intriguing tone, Pinky Cole confronting unexpected business news, and tensions between Portia Williams and Shamea Morton-Wangi continuing to simmer, the episode appears positioned to explore multiple emotional storylines at once. Rather than focusing on a single conflict, Episode 14 suggests that several cast members are navigating significant personal moments simultaneously.